Happy Monday. That's right. I just couldn't wait. I was in backstage, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, I'm being impatient today, so we're starting a little early. And yeah, that's how it's going to be. It's just one of those days where everything's kind of like falling into place and I'm ahead of schedule, which is my goal every day, but isn't always necessarily how the day works out. So I just want to say hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's Monday meditation, Monday motivation. And a little of this, a little of that. It's kind of one of those things. I have this idea in my head how the show is going to go, but that doesn't always mean that the guides, as we get into that channel part, decide to play along. Sometimes they have their own agenda. So first off, I want to say, hey, Purple Princess. Hey, Alex. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Erin. How is everybody tonight? Thank you for being here. Thank you for always supporting me and holding that space for these shows to continue and to, spread the love and go on the journeys with me. And also just super honored to be a part of your journeys. I know this is a big thing. Like, we go into these inner spaces and sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's a little more difficult depending on the day, the week, the month, the year, and where we're at. So something that kind of came up before I started the show today was, it is going to tie in to the topic tonight, I promise, is about expectations. And we have a lot of these expectations that we put together. I do it. I have expectations that every time I get on this, especially doing the show, and this expectation that everything had to be perfect and it had to be here. What I have learned is that expectation actually prevents it from going spaces where it needs to go. So why is letting go of the expectation of how it's going to look important? Because some days we get there and sometimes we don't. But when we have expectations on ourselves and what it's supposed to look like, we get into a rigid mindset. A rigid mindset is really when we don't allow the universe to send us what we need or want, because we have a mindset that says that it can only come one way. And when we get very rigid in that, it really doesn't leave a lot of space for the universe to go, but hey, you can have this and you can have more than you ever expected. But because we get into these rigid mindsets, and I think sometimes when we set expectations on ourselves, we begin to foster that rigid mindset and that rigid expectation. And we begin to decrease the amount of energy and vibration, tone, and frequency that we are creating with, because we are really pinholing it into one way, this way, and the only way. And sometimes as we get into these spaces, when we get into our force of creation and we become comfortable and, force of creation, manifesting, allowing, surrendering, and it all comes into one space, is that we are in our flow, our energetic flow, which allows us to co-create in the external environment. But we have to start in our internal landscape. So sometimes we can get a little lost, or we get a little like, whew, and we think and we believe it can only come one way, when really in reality there's a billion ways that something wonderful and positive can come to you. So if you are sitting down and you are kind of getting into your space, but you find that you're having some difficulties, going within, meditating, pausing for a moment, or, that motivation to go out and do stuff, or to be, create that healthier, whole, more complete, more unified and harmonized you, that's okay. Just step back, take a deep breath and go, okay, what do I need to know? What is my opportunity of learning? And where am I being too rigid? And how can I be less rigid? So that's just kind of something that came up that I thought I'd quickly touch on in the beginning of the show, but I'm also going to tie it in tonight. And then I think I'm going to do another show on rigid mindsets and rigid habits, behaviors, belief systems, and perceptions that prevent us from getting into a space of abundance. And today. Okay, truth be known, this is part of the reason I want to start the show early, is because I just really love this topic. It's a big topic. And how did this topic come about? Well, I was driving up from the coast of Vernon, which is about a 4.5 hour drive, give or take, traffic down on the coast, getting out of the lower mainland. And some things have been happening. And I had this client who went into a past life who wanted to connect with the part of her that was scarcity, because she really felt that she was in this space of scarcity and it was being repeated. A repeated pattern of scarcity, kind of, as she put it, plagued her life. And she didn't know how to get outside of that. So she's done a lot of hypnosis with me. We've really connected in a lot of things and really made a lot of shifts in other aspects and other tones of her life, things that have been blocking her, things that have been preventing her from growing and moving forward. But one of the things that kept coming up was this scarcity. So in our last session last week, she said, I want to get into this. I want to talk to the part of me that creates the pattern of scarcity, because she didn't feel it. She lived in scarcity, but she felt like there was a pattern of scarcity. And so we, called for that part of her that was the pattern that was creating scarcity for her in her current life. And that part came forward. We had this little conversation and we were able to take that part back to the origins, the root cause, the original life, where that pattern became a part of her. And we ended up in a past life. And in that past life, she went back and she was a male, and she was in this space where she was waiting for somebody to choose her, something better to come along. And in that, she became very impatient, and she took the first opportunity that didn't actually sit right with her, but because she was so afraid of not being chosen or not having somewhere to connect with, she took that opportunity, which actually led her to a life of always wanting more, but always feeling like she couldn't have more based on her circumstances. And so as we processed to the end of this life and moved through the transition of that life, and we began to screen out all of the negative things that have pulled forward from that life, the experiences, the belief systems, the habits, the behaviors, the patterns, the cords, the imprints, like we really just kind of did a full scan of that life and really stepped outside of moving forward and releasing all of that connection to that life that was holding her back in her current journey. And as we move forward, we screen out these things. Soul screening is something I do in every session and use these screens in different ways. But one is a filtering out screen. So filtering out the things that she experienced in that life as she moves forward, so she can let them go back to that life where they belong, but no longer carry that pattern forward. And the pattern of scarcity really came up strong for her in different avenues, both professionally, personally, her own personal outlook about herself in that life, that no matter what she did, nobody would listen to her, nobody would hear her, nobody would allow her to move forward. And she really gave her power away to everyone in that life who was in a higher ranking position than she was. And because she didn't line up with those belief systems that those higher ranking position people had, it kept her again in a space of lack and wanting. And so we kind of, once we got through all that screening out process and back into the soul energy where she could heal and finish the healing process, the purpose of that life was lessons of choice, lessons of perspective. And part of that healing process was at a soul level, recognizing that was then and this is now, and that those lessons have been learned and those patterns didn't need to be repeated, and got that soul confirmation that those patterns would no longer be repeated. And so we brought that energy back into this life, letting those patterns go and moving forward from that point forward. And she really felt a shift within her, even in her just daily perspective over the couple days after that session, where she started to look at everything as plenty, and that she had more abundance and was moving into a space of attracting positively and being in a space of having plenty in every avenue of her life. So that was a big shift for her. And like I said, this wasn't just a one-off session in the sense that she hadn't been working towards us, but we really did dive in to that big core space, and she was able to let go. And like I said, over 24, 48 hours after that session, she really did start to feel that shift in her inner landscape, which will then unfold in the outer landscape as the days go by. So got me thinking as I was driving, and I'm like, okay, because sometimes I sit back and I see sessions happening, and I think to myself, okay, this session has come forward in the office. Is there anything that I need to self-reflect on? Is there anything I need to tap into? And I mean, there are always little things here and there, but for the most part, a lot of it was just resetting that mindset as moving forward, with building up in the coast and kind of expanding my business and going that way. I've been in this teeter-totter spot where it's kind of like, I want to, I'm a little like, whoo. And one of it was fear. And so I said, as I was driving, I was thinking, how does fear, like, 1 second. Do not eat peanuts before the show. Life tip right there. Hello, Ship. Thank you for being here. How does my fear attach to a scarcity mindset? And so what is scarcity? Scarcity is anything that prevents or blocks abundance and the flow of abundance and the experience of abundance and plenty in your life. So I kind of sat back. I was re-examining this shift, this big move that we were making and where I was sitting. And there was a bit of a fear, the fear of, failure. And not that I haven't really felt that real connection to it, but I realized that even that little bit creates scarcity, that creates this not enough sense. And so I sat with that on my drive and I kind of examined where that came from and where I was feeling it, what emotions were attached to it. And, I asked myself, is this something that I have learned, or is this something that I am currently in the process of learning and overcoming? And I instantly got the sense that it was something that has been learned. Okay, so when I get that feeling that this is a pattern or a habit or a lesson that has already been learned, then it is a simple moving forward and saying, okay, I release the feeling and the sense, the energy, the frequency, the tone of scarcity in my life at a cellular level from this moment forward. And so I made note of that. And when I went to bed that night, when I got back into the mountains, that was my meditation. And my meditation was allowing my physical, mental, emotional, and energetic self to release the cell memory of scarcity and fear towards rebuilding the business. And what did that look like the next day? The next day, that little bit extra motivation was there, like that feeling of, okay, so I'm going to make my list. I'm going to get to my list. I'm going to accomplish my list and I'm going to tackle my list. And so today, here we are starting a little bit early because the list is done. The board is done. The sticky notes literally have been cleared and it's all been geared around setting up opportunities to create more, to have more, and to receive more. And so that is one example of what a scarcity mindset can be like. Now, we're all individuals, we're all unique, we all have different experiences, we all have different flow, and we all will carry potentially that scarcity mindset somewhere in our life. Somewhere we are, and it's driven from fear. And fear drives a lot of actions and reactions. So I was thinking about questions that you could ask yourself when tapping into this, when exploring this within you. And the first thing is, where in your mindset are you right now? This is a big loaded question because this is where we have to sit back and go, okay, I'm going to take an honest, raw look at myself. Where's my mindset right now? Is it in a space of abundance and plenty, or is it in a space of lack and scarcity? And this may not apply to every avenue in your life, but why it's important to have this raw, hard conversation with yourself is because abundance flows to us. But when we have blocks, we have walls, we have hesitation, hindrances, i.e. scarcity or lack, it really depletes the amount of abundance that can come our way because scarcity, lack creates rigid mindset. And when we're in a rigid mindset, we tend to not be able to go, I can go with the flow. We tend to get very in a space of needing it to come one way and only one way. And that can make it harder for us to receive openly, easily, fully, and completely. So when we have this raw, hard conversation with us, wherever you find yourself sitting, there's nothing wrong with that. This is about the self-discovery. This is about getting into that space to start asking ourselves these hard, raw questions that let us know where we're at, so that in that moment, when you discover that answer, you sense that answer, you feel that answer, you know that answer, you then have the opportunity to stay where you are, which is perfectly fine and perfectly good, or to make some changes and to make some shifts. And if you find you're in a space where you want to start creating some change and some shift, where you find yourself at once you've sat with this, one of the questions that you may want to ask yourself is, how do I feel about receiving and having abundance in my life? That is another hard, raw question to ask, because a lot of us, and from my work with working with different people that come in for, that wanting to connect into their flow of abundance, there is a lot of emotions. And one of the biggest ones that I see is guilt. Guilt tends to be one of those primary emotions that prevent us from having that flow of abundance regularly, because somewhere there is a programming that has been built up over generations, over time, that if we have abundance individually, that perhaps we might be taking abundance from somebody else. That's not how the universe works. The universe is all flowing, all encompassing. So there's never an ending to the energy and abundance the universe can help provide for you and with you. So if you begin to move through these emotions and you begin to create space for them to be released, to be healed, for your inner mind, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind to sense and feel and know and believe that you're now ready to receive abundance, and you're ready to let go of that rigid mindset or that scarcity or that lack, it makes space. But also, that because you have abundance doesn't mean that somebody else in the world is no longer going to receive that. So if that is, it's about getting into those emotions, because back in the day when I date myself here, 20 years ago, I felt guilty. When I started to make really great income, when I started to really see my life shifting and changing and really kind of finding that purpose and that path, I may have been totally and completely terrified and scared of it, and scared of the outcome, scared of how people were going to receive me, because opening up my intuitive side, that inner side of me, was, it was meant I had to be vulnerable and raw. And I was terrified of being vulnerable and raw, because every time I had been vulnerable and raw, I got hurt, or I enabled myself to feel hurt. And I would feel guilty. I would think about creating, and I would go see different mediums, and they would always say, you will create this. This is coming to you. And I would start to feel guilty about it, because I had this programming deep down inside that perhaps if I received something in the form of, a huge amount of abundance, that perhaps I wouldn't be able to provide for those around me, or that the way I chose to provide for those around me would not be good enough for them, and that they would be upset and they would be angry with me, and that I would lose people I love because I didn't give to them the way they expected me to give to them, or way they thought I should give to them, even though I had this wonderful plan and it made a lot of sense to me and it would create abundance for everybody. But I had this underlying fear. So I had to really sit with that and resolve that, is, when I started to work through that through hypnotherapy. And it really did change how I sat with the idea that my dreams could come true. So there was a lot of inner landscape work, and it wasn't because of anything anybody said. It was how I perceived that they might think about the fact that this is my big plan to buy, if I was able to create this, mountain of abundance, that I would really love to buy a huge, huge plot of land and have everybody have a space on it so they could create and live with freedom and just have this community. I really, and I blocked that for a lot of years. I mean, it was probably, 2012 in that area, plus or minus a couple of years here. I really sat with that. It wasn't until 2000, I think 16 or something, when I really started to dive into that, after, I got my inner, started to really discover the power of hypnotherapy, and really started to expand all of that and really let that go and figure out where that came from. And it really had, nothing to do with anything that anyone said or did to me. It was how I perceived things, how I perceived the actions of the way people spoke about people who got abundance, and I adopted that fear from those conversations and being a part of them. So it wasn't an easy release, but it was a big release. So that is something that, when we talk about the emotions that promote or hold us in a space of scarcity or lack, when we begin to shift them, we begin to open the door for those emotions to transform into something positive, something giving and receiving, but in harmony and balance. So that's another question that you guys can ask yourselves. And how does it affect me when the outcomes of my expectations, the outcomes that I have planned on, end up going differently than planned? So that is another thing that we can really step into. And that's another big question that you can ask yourselves when you get into this space of releasing any and all forms of scarcity at any level, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. That question will help you kind of sit with where you could be rigid in your mindset, where that rigid mindset that comes from or creates from or lives in lack or scarcity. So how do you feel when and what do you expect when outcomes don't go your way or the way you foresee them unfolding? And how does that affect you? And sitting with that, again, will give you some internal awareness of what's going on within you that could be creating a hindrance for you to receive more and more abundance and be in that space of plenty. And are there, the other side is, do I hold belief systems that prevent me from creating and having and flowing with abundance? Do I have perceptions that live in that scarcity, lack mindset? And these are just ways to start really deep diving into what you're doing during your meditation. How do you do this deep dive? You set your intention. Today, I want to focus on, where do I sense, feel, or know I am carrying any perceptions that keep me in a space of scarcity or lack? And then open yourself up to receiving, noticing what you notice, sensing what you sense, know what you know, feel what you feel. And then when you come out, make a little note. Okay, so this is what I felt during that process. This is a thought that came forward, or a word, or an emotion. Okay, so in your next meditation, you start to dive into that emotion, that thought, that word, that statement, that belief, and asking, what is that emotion holding for you? Where do you hold that emotion in your body? Does it have a color? Does it have a frequency? Is it connected anywhere else? And what do you need to allow yourself to release that negative emotion, that negative belief system, that perception, that idea, that scarcity, that lack? So those are a couple ways to get into this. And I realize that this is a huge topic. So I'm going to leave that topic there for now, because I'm going to add more as we go, because I really want to focus on helping you guys get into this self-healing space and having the confidence and the know-how and the ability to go in on your own and go, okay, where do I need to go to heal? Where do I need to go to shift any and all belief systems, perceptions, ideas, cell memory of scarcity, of lack in my world, in my environment, internally, that is internally, externally affecting my ability to create abundance and live a life of plenty. And the last thing I'm going to throw in there, just because I think it's super important as we get this journey underway, is, what does abundance mean to you? That also can be a very raw and telling question. What does abundance mean to you? And what does that look like for you? And when and I do this on my wall, and one day I will take a picture for you guys. Actually, I will. And I put up, what is my abundant life look like? What does a life of plenty look like for me? What does a life I love look like for me? And what am I doing? And I kind of write it out in words, and I sit with every anchor word that creates that life. And I see how I hold that, where I hold that, what I hold around that. Is it all in a space of abundance and flow, or is it in a space of rigidness, scarcity, and lack and fear? And that is another way to kind of deep dive into where you might be finding some hindrances to your flow of abundance. And might be a path within to figure out how you're living and creating from a life of scarcity and lack, and things that you may not consciously realize or be aware of on an everyday basis. But as you start to do this technique, or asking yourself these questions and setting that intention when you meditate on your own, you might be able to really begin to deep dive of where your true, big, huge, deep-rooted blocks are preventing you from moving forward in that plenty space, that plenty energy, that frequency, that tone and vibration. And scarcity and abundance are very close to each other. There's a very fine line of walking and living and allowing in abundance, and walking and living and allowing and creating in scarcity. So when we start to deep dive into this, we start to walk that fine line. We can see where we may dip one way or the other. And like I said, wherever you are at right now, it's perfect, because if we don't ask ourselves and check in where we're at and have that honest, hard conversation, then we don't know if we need to open something else, deep dive into something to make space for the things that we really do want in our life that maybe we are consciously trying, but there's this subconscious energetic block that is preventing, because we haven't gone in and allowed our subconscious mind to realize that was then and this is now, and we're in a completely different space. So let's create from the now versus from the then. So yes, that is today. So today's meditation is about getting in there and getting into that space, into that self-source soul space where we can sit and give ourselves permission to release scarcity and lack at a cellular level, and really make space for that more abundant flow of energy to come into our lives and be more a part of our space of creation as we create, as we move forward, as we allow, as we give ourselves permission to give and receive from a place of plenty and abundance, and give ourselves permission to begin to reshape, redefine that our lives and how we live, and bring more positive abundance into everything we do, including ourselves, our inner perspectives, our inner landscape, our inner point of view, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. So today's music, I am really highly addicted to this music today. So I'm on a kick with this music. I love this music. I've been using it in my one-on-one sessions, in my group sessions, and I don't know, it's just something. That's where we are today. So we'll probably be here for a little while, because I just love it. I love it in my own personal meditations, which really resonate with it. So I am going to set this up. And while I'm getting the music going, I'm going to ask you guys all to find that space, that beautiful place where you can sit, you can lay, you can be, you can rest. You can get into a space to let go and to receive. And following tonight's show, I will place this in my Telegram group so you guys may use it. I have already saved it, so it is in my playlist, which I hope that you can access. And if not, let me know and I will figure out what I have done to prevent that. So when you're ready, close your eyes down. And as you close your eyes down, giving yourself permission to go on the journey within. Giving yourself permission to rest and release. Perhaps giving yourself permission to let go of any lack or scarcity that you may sense and feel yourself holding on to, and any aspect of yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. And as we set this intention of letting go and releasing any and all forms of lack or scarcity that we may feel or sense ourselves holding physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, down to the very cellular makeup of our being. Let your awareness come back to your breathing. And as your focus comes back to your breath, let it be natural, let it be easy, let it be comfortable and flowing. And as you breathe in, feel every breath creating more and more space for that feeling of calm, that flow of rest. As you give yourself a little moment of pause and inner grace, nourishing, replenishing, calming, restoring, loving, balancing, harmonizing. And as you breathe out, just imagine, sense, and feel every breath out beginning to release any and all forms of tension or tightness you may sense or feel yourself holding on to in the mind and the body and the energy. That's right. Every breath out, beginning to release and let go any and all forms of tightness and tension you may sense or feel yourself holding or carrying in the mind, body, and soul. As you breathe out, giving yourself permission and knowing that you're ready and willing to let go. And as you breathe on, feel that feeling, that energy, that tone, that vibration of calmness gently increase. Moving from the top of your head all the way down, 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 down to the soles of your feet. And as that feeling of calm increases, expands and deepens, let your mind wander for a moment to the palms of your hands, the tops of your hands, the tips of your fingers and thumbs. And as you focus on the muscles in and around your hands, giving them permission and inviting them to become softer and calm. And as you invite the muscles in and around your hands, the space in and around your hands to become softer and calm, feel your hands rest deeper in and deeper down. Let all the muscles in and around your hands become softer and softer, calmer and calmer still. And as your hands feel at ease and comfortable, let your breath move to the soles of your feet. And as your focus moves to the soles of your feet, notice the muscles in and around the space beyond your feet. Inviting all of the muscles in and around your feet to become comfortable, soft, and calm as you breathe out any traces of tension or tightness. Begin to sense and feel the energy in and around your feet becoming softer and softer, smooth like silk, calmer and calmer still. With each and every breath you breathe, feel that flow of ease moving beyond your feet through the tips of your toes, the soles, all the way down, letting go. More and more calm, more and more comfortable, and more at ease with each and every breath you breathe. And now, if you will, let your mind wander to the top of your crown, noticing, sensing, feeling what you feel. Notice what you notice as you focus in on those muscles around your crown, the top of your head, all the way down. Noticing any and all sense of tension or tightness you may feel or know yourself carrying in the top of your crown, all through the front of your forehead, all the way down. And as you breathe out, letting go of any and all sources of tension and tightness that you may sense or feel. And as you breathe in, breathing in that comfort, that calm into the muscles in and around the top of your head, allowing them, inviting them to be softer and softer, more and more at ease. With every beautiful, wonderful, calm, resting breath you breathe. That's right. Breathing in that ease of calmness into all those muscles in and around your crown, the top of your head, and beyond, all the way down. Every exhale, releasing, letting go bit by bit, more and more. Perhaps beginning to sense that feeling of calmness from above and below the soles of your feet, entwining and moving through your body with ease. With each and every breath you breathe. And over this next couple of breaths, let your focus shift to the tops of your shoulders. And as your focus and awareness moves to the tops of your shoulders, and allowing each and every breath out to release any last traces of tension or tightness you may sense or feel yourself holding in your shoulders, shoulder blades, anywhere in that upper back that you may sense or feel any and all forms of tension or tightness. Through your exhale, letting go. With every breath in, breathing in that flow of calm and ease into the tops of your shoulders and beyond. As you let all the muscles in your body become more and more at ease, flowing into a gentle source and rhythm of peace. And when you're ready, let your mind wander once again down to the middle and lower back. And as your mind wanders to your middle and lower back, giving the muscles in your back completely permission, inviting them all to become more and more calm and comfortable. And as the muscles in your back begin to rest bit by bit, vertebra by vertebra, let your shoulders rest deeper down as you sink deeper in, down and into the surface, supporting you. As the muscles from the top and upper back soften all the way down, down, down to the tip of your tailbone and beyond. Moment by moment, breath by breath, resting, breathing, exhaling, releasing. And feel that flow of calm and ease like waves rippling down into you from the top of your head all the way past your shoulders, all the way down your upper, mid, and lower back through the palms of your hands. Down, down, down through your legs, muscle by muscle, softer and softer, past your knees, your shins, your calves, all the way down through your ankles and your heels to the soles of your feet. As above is below in that flow of calmness and peace with each and every breath you breathe. you're ready, I'm going to let your mind expand once more to the space around you. Notice the space and energy outside of your physical body, starting from the top of your head, all the way down to the shoulders and chest. Notice how you notice the space of energy outside your physical body. Imagine your breath breathing calmness from the top of your head to the middle of your chest and shoulders. As you breathe out, imagine that energy outside your physical body, releasing and letting go of any and all forms of tension or tightness, any and all forms of blocks or scarcity. Sense and feel the energy from the top of your head to the middle of your chest and shoulders becoming smooth like silk, flowing and easy, calm. Letting go of any and all forms of outer scarcity and lack that you sense or feel yourself holding in your outer energy. And as your outer energy smooths into abundance and plenty, let your mind wander from the middle of your chest and your shoulders all the way down to your solar plex area, diaphragm, to the middle of your back, all the way down to your lower back, and sensing and feeling your outer energy. Notice how you notice this area of your outer energy, sensing what you sense, see what you see, feel what you feel, know what you know, hear what you hear. As you rest, as you release, notice how you notice the outer energy from your diaphragm all the way down to your lower back and around. Every breath in, creating a space of softness in your outer energy. Every exhale, releasing letting go of any and all forms of scarcity or lack that you may sense yourself holding in your outer energy, in your layers of your outer energy and aura, from the space of your diaphragm all the way down to the tip of your tailbone and around. Notice how you notice this. Notice as you give yourself permission to release any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you may be holding in the outer layers of your energy beyond your physical body. Let energy become smooth like silk and soft and calmer still. And as the energy in the outer layers beyond your physical body, from your diaphragm to the tip of your tailbone, from your mid and lower back and all around your torso, becomes smooth like silk and released, softer and more in harmony. From the top of your head all the way down to the tip of your tailbone, let your mind wander once again. Let it wander to the energy in and around your physical body, from the top of your legs all the way down to the soles of your feet. Notice how you notice the energy layers outside your physical body. Sense what you sense, notice what you notice, feel what you feel, see what you see, know what you know, hear what you hear. And when you're ready and willing, giving yourself permission to release and let go of any and all forms of scarcity or lack, vibration, tone, and energy that you may sense yourself holding in the outer layers of your energy field outside your physical body, from the top of your hips all the way down to the soles of your feet. Release. And as you breathe in, breathing in that calmness and harmony, as the outer layers of your energy outside your physical body, from the tops of your hips all the way down to the soles of your feet, become smooth like silk and free and calm and peaceful. With every exhale, you release and let go of any and all forms or sense of lack or scarcity that you may hold in the outer layers of your energy outside your physical body, from the base of your hips all the way down beyond the soles of your feet and around. With every exhale, letting go bit by bit, more and more, as you create space for abundance and that flow of plenty, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet and beyond. And as the outer layer of your energy outside your physical body, from the base of your hips all the way down to the soles of your feet, feel like smooth silk flowing in harmony and plenty. When you're ready, draw your attention into your root chakra, that chakra at the base of your tailbone. And as you move into the center heart of your root chakra, as you find yourself in the center heart of your root chakra, with every breath you breathe, when you're ready and willing, go ahead and giving yourself permission to release scarcity and lack that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your root chakra. And as you breathe out any and all forms of scarcity and lack from your root chakra, you breathe in that freedom and permission to receive abundance into that inner space of your root chakra, more and more with every breath in. As you breathe out any and all connections, cords, imprints, and energies, habits, behaviors, actions, reactions, programmings, perceptions, and belief systems that are centered around lack and scarcity that you find or sense yourself holding in your root chakra, down to the cellular makeup of your being. And as you breathe, you set the energy in your root chakra free, free to receive abundance and plenty, free to create positive abundance and plenty, free to flow in positive abundance and plenty. Let your mind wander all the way up to the center of your sacral chakra now, that beautiful navel chakra. And as you move into the center heart of your sacral chakra, giving your sacral chakra permission to release and let go of any and all forms of lack and scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your sacral chakra. Releasing any cords, contracts, connections, vibrations, frequencies, tones, and energies that create and harness lack and scarcity in your sacral chakra. And as you breathe in, you breathe in the freedom of abundance, that positive flow of plenty. As you create more space for abundance, more positive plenty in your sacral chakra, feel the energy shift, and transform. As every breath out, you give yourself permission to release and let go of any and all forms of scarcity or lack that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your sacral chakra, down to the cellular makeup of your being, fully and completely. And as your sacral chakra clears and released, let your mind wander to the inner center heart of your solar plexus chakra, that beautiful chakra in and around your diaphragm. And as you move into your solar plexus chakra, giving yourself permission to release and let go of any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding on to within your sacral chakra energy. And as you let go and release any and all forms of lack or scarcity, you break all contracts, connections, energies, and imprints, behaviors, actions, reactions, perceptions, and belief systems, and thought patterns that have created a source of lack or scarcity within your solar plexus chakra, now released. And as you breathe in that energy, that flow, that freedom of positive abundance and plenty. As you breathe in that inner connection to your source of creation, filling it with that energy, vibration, and tone of positive abundance and plenty. As you release any and all forms of lack or scarcity down to the cellular makeup of your being that you sense or feel yourself holding in your solar plexus chakra, releasing, letting go. Feel the energy in your solar plexus chakra transform once more, finding a rhythm and pace to receive and allow positive abundance and plenty in every aspect of your life once more. And as the energy in your solar plexus chakra now becomes smooth with abundance and that wealth and flow of positive plenty, let your mind wander into the center heart of your heart chakra. And as you move into the center heart of your heart chakra, giving your heart chakra permission to release and let go of any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding or creating through your heart chakra. And as you give yourself permission to release at a cellular level any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your heart chakra, you break all contracts, connections, cords, imprints, and energies with lack or scarcity. And as you breathe in that positive abundance of plenty into your heart chakra once more, as it fills and blossoms into positive abundance and plenty. As you bring in that energy, that tone, that frequency of positive abundance and plenty into your heart chakra, you give yourself permission to release and let go any last traces of scarcity or lack that you may sense or feel yourself holding on to in your heart chakra. And as you feel your heart chakra energy flow and beat in that rhythm of positive abundance and awaken into that flow of plenty, you let your mind wander to your throat chakra. And as your mind wanders into your throat chakra, into the center heart of your throat chakra, automatically, and when you're ready, giving yourself permission to release any and all forms of lack or scarcity, any and all forms of energy that create lack or scarcity that you sense or feel or know yourself holding in your throat chakra now. And as you release and let go of lack and scarcity, that tone, that vibration and energy of lack and scarcity, the habits, behaviors, connections, cords, and imprints, you break all of the connections to the habits, behaviors, perceptions, cords, and imprints that have created lack or scarcity within your throat chakra, releasing, letting go, And as you breathe in the energy, tone, and vibration, and the openness to receive and allow positive abundance and plenty, that energy into your throat chakra. As your throat chakra heals, you release and let go of any last cords of energy of lack or scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your throat chakra, down to the cellular makeup of its being. You release and let go any cords, any connections, any energies forming, creating, and holding on to lack or scarcity that you may sense within your throat chakra. And as you create that beautiful space within your throat chakra, you fill it with positive abundance, the energy, the tone, the frequency, the flow of receiving and allowing positive abundance and plenty to move through your throat chakra bit by bit, more and more, as you continue to open and walk through this door of abundance and plenty. As your throat chakra clears, your mind wanders into the third eye chakra. And as you move into your third eye chakra, that beautiful chakra between the brows of your eyes, when you're ready and willing, giving yourself permission to release any and all forms of lack and scarcity, any energies, any behaviors, any actions, reactions, perceptions, ideas, belief systems that are surrounded or created through lack or scarcity that you've been holding or sense or feel yourself holding in your third eye. You allow yourself permission to release and let go. And as you breathe in the tone, the frequency, the energy, the knowing of positive abundance and plenty into your third eye, feeling and flooding that space in your third eye with that energy, that frequency, that tone, that vibration of positive abundance and plenty. And as you exhale, you break all contracts and release any and all cords, connections, perceptions, habits, behaviors, patterns, belief systems of lack or scarcity that you may sense or feel yourself holding in your third eye, letting go completely and easily. And as you feel the flow, the rhythm, the tone, the frequency, the vibration of positive abundance and plenty moving through your third eye, feel yourself growing and expanding, allowing and creating space to receive more and more positive abundance and plenty. And as your third eye becomes full of positive abundance and plenty, you feel yourself drawn to the center heart of your crown chakra. And as you move into the center heart of your crown chakra, into the self-source soul space, giving yourself permission to release at a cellular level, at a soul level, any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you have carried forward from any life, past, present, or future. And as you breathe out any and all forms of lack or scarcity that you have carried forward from any life, past, present, or future, feel your heart of your crown chakra, that self-source and soul space, clearing, releasing, and letting go of any and all forms of lack or scarcity from any life, past, present, or future. And as you breathe in, feel the light of your soul, fill that space with more energy, more abundance, more positive abundance and plenty flowing through you, becoming a part of you on all levels, mind, body, and soul. And as you release through the heart of your crown chakra, releasing and letting go, giving yourself permission to fully and completely let go of any contracts, karmic connections, cords, imprints, energies, habits, behaviors, actions, reactions, belief systems, and perceptions that were created and held in lack and scarcity from this moment forward, immediately and permanently. And as you feel yourself release at a soul level, at a cellular level, of any and all energy forms of lack and scarcity, feel the space you were created now filling and receiving positive abundance and that flow and rhythm, the energy, frequency, and tone of plenty. And as you feel your crown chakra filling with plenty and positive abundance, you feel it move through your third eye, flowing, drifting, connecting with your throat chakra, replenishing your heart chakra, filling your solar plex chakra, restoring your sacral chakra, and grounding into your root chakra. That flow, that energy, that tone, that frequency, that vibration of positive abundance and plenty. Feel your internal landscape bathe in positive abundance and plenty. Feel your energy, vibration, and tone shifting. Feel the ease of releasing, now healing. As you breathe, you release. As you release, you create space. As you create space, it fills with that flow, frequency, and tone of positive abundance and plenty. Feel the flow of your energy now from the top of your head, the top of your crown, all the way down to the soles of your feet, shining, luminous, and flowing in positive abundance and plenty. Feel that centering of abundance, that grounding of plenty, that flow of positivity. Become a part of you, both consciously and subconsciously. Become a part of you in the mind, body, and soul connection, growing, expanding, and deepening, flourishing, and thriving. And as you take these next couple deep breaths, giving yourself permission to create, to have, to receive, and to allow positive abundance and plenty in all aspects of your life, both personally and professionally, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and energetically. And as you set this flow in motion, feel how good it feels to be in a space of allowance and receiving, a space of calming and peacefulness. Grounded and centered and aligned and in harmony more and more with every breath you breathe. And as you bring this forward into the waking moment, in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 5. At 5, you'll be fully immersed and fully aware, fully present, and in the here and the now, flowing, creating, vibrating in that beautiful flow of positive abundance and plenty. 1, feel yourself bringing this shift and this healing, this change and transformation into your waking conscious state. 2, feel a bend in your arms and your legs. Feel the tips of your fingers and your toes. As you breathe with ease, you breathe in all of that flow, vibration, and frequency of positive abundance and plenty, becoming a part of you physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, down to the cellular makeup of your being. And 3, feeling wonderfully at ease, and lighter, centered and grounded, and more at peace. And 4, your eyes are clear, your energies are clear, your vision and your inner sight and your intuitive self becoming more and more clear and abundant each and every day in every way. And 5, fully immersed, fully aware, fully alert. Take a deep breath, stretching, moving. And when you're ready, coming all the way back into the here and now. And opening your eyes when it feels right for you. All right, guys, welcome back. I just want to say thank you for allowing and sharing me to guide you and sharing your time and space with me. I hope that you had a wonderful journey and know that each and every day, now we put this into practice each and every day, giving yourself permission to create, to feel, to be in that frequency, that flow, that vibration that is positive abundance and plenty. And allowing yourself to create from that space. And remember, the universe doesn't engage with what's big or small. It's just the action. So every day you wake up and you give yourself permission to receive and allow positive abundance and plenty. You are moving forward into that frequency. You are moving forward into that energy. You're moving forward into that vibration and that timeline that is your highest timeline. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys. I will see you on, well, some of you will Tuesday night in my meditation group, online group meditation class. Some of you, I will see you on Friday in the Shipwreck Show and with the morning show. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy this reset. And remember, practice, practice, practice. The more you allow, the more you create, the more there is. All right, guys, have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon.